I want you to picture something for me. It's really simple.
Okay.
Just, walk into your local supermarket, head over to the beverage aisle.
The water aisle.
Exactly. And just count the number of bottled water brands you see. I mean, there must be 24, maybe even more. They're all H2O.
Same chemical formula.
Yeah.
And yet the prices are all over the place.
Right.
You can grab a generic bottle for, what, under $1? But then right next to it is a designer brand that costs 5, maybe 6 times that much.
For the same water.
For the exact same chemical content. And that enormous gap, that ability to charge $5 for something that's chemically identical to a 50-cent product, that is the end result of really successful differentiation.
And that's our whole focus today. We're diving into Jack Trout's iconic warning, differentiate or die.
A classic.
Trout, who, by the way, was half of the legendary team that gave us positioning, he really doesn't pull any punches. He basically argues that in today's supersaturated market, just being good is the same as being invisible.
And invisibility leads you straight into the commodity trap.
Explain that. What is the commodity trap?
It's when a customer can't tell you apart from your competitor. If there's no clear difference, they default to the only factor that makes sense. Price. Price. And that's the race to the bottom.
It's a brutal race. It's where businesses just bleed out their margins trying to undercut each other. But you mentioned something key there, the ability to set that $5 price. We call that pricing power.
Pricing power is the goal. It's the ability to raise your price without seeing your demand just fall off a cliff.
Because your uniqueness is now more valuable to the customer.
Exactly. It's more valuable than the savings they'd get from a cheaper generic competitor.
So the mission for this deep dive is to give you a shortcut. Trout lays out 5 principles for real differentiation to get past the generic claims like quality and service that, let's be honest, everyone makes.
Let's figure out how to stop selling generic water
And start owning that premium niche. So let's start with principle 1. The absolute strongest form of differentiation is simply being first.
It's so powerful because it creates this almost impossible to overcome mental shortcut.
A shortcut.
Yeah, when a customer finds a new category, if you're the pioneer, you secure this position in their mind that is just nearly impossible for anyone else to dislodge. The unwritten rule becomes first equals best.
The examples are everywhere. I
Yeah.
mean, we think of Tesla. They weren't the very first electric car.
No, not at all.
But they were the first to frame the affordable mass market electric car. They own that frame.
And what about Zoom?
We still say let's Zoom. Even if we're using Teams or Google Meet, they own the verb.
And that gets to the real meaning of first. It's about being first in the mind, not necessarily first chronologically.
Right.
But I do wonder, is that advantage permanent? I mean, we all saw what happened to MySpace or BlackBerry. They were first.
That's a great point. Being first gets you the beachhead, but you have to keep innovating within that space you own. The second you get complacent, the competition, who usually has more money and can move faster, they will just seize that opening.
So it's not a one-and-done strategy?
No, but the core advantage is still there. They have to spend millions fighting your origin story, while you get to define what's next for the category you created.
That's the key. Being first builds the difference right into your story. You know, imagine launching some niche B2B software tool. If you're the 11th competitor to market...
You're in a price war from day one.
Exactly. But if you use this principle, you're not just another tool.
You become, say, the first platform to automate compliance for sustainable seafood distributors, a very narrow specific category.
And now you own it. You don't have competitors anymore, you just have followers. You are the definitive solution, and that focus lets you charge a premium.
But not everyone can be first. The category might already exist.
Yeah.
So that brings us to principle 2, attribute ownership.
Right. If you can't be first overall, you have to own one specific characteristic, one benefit, sometimes even just one single word.
Volvo owns safety.
FedEx owns overnight. Domino's, for years, owned 30 minutes or it's free.
But here's the trap, right? Because everyone claims attributes. Everyone says they have quality or great service or innovation.
Those words are totally meaningless now. They're just noise.
So what's the real distinction between just claiming an attribute and truly owning it?
Ownership demands a total, all-in commitment. And that commitment is expensive and it's risky. When Volvo says safety, they're committing billions to engineering, to crash testing, to marketing that focuses only on safety.
They're implicitly saying they might not be the fastest or the sexiest car.
Exactly. They are making a sacrifice. And that's the proof.
So it's not a slogan, it's a sacrifice. If FedEx promises overnight, their entire logistics system has to guarantee that. One failure on a big client and the whole thing is at risk.
That's the proof of ownership. You have to align every single part of your business, your operations, your marketing, who you hire around that single attribute.
So if you're a web design firm, you ditch beautiful websites.
You ditch it completely. Instead, you own speed. And you don't just say it, you guarantee it. We will make sure your core pages load in under 2 seconds, or the entire rebuild is free.
But to maintain that guarantee, you're talking about a massive ongoing investment in hosting, in coding, in QA.
You're not just changing your slogan.
You're changing your entire internal cost structure.
Exactly. You're turning a generic claim into a provable standard. That's how you become the only one, because you're willing to make a commitment the competition isn't.
All right, let's move on. Principle 3, leadership. This one feels a bit more straightforward. Being number one is a powerful differentiator.
It's social proof at scale. The customer doesn't have to do all the homework because, in a way, the market has already done it for them.
There's an assumption that the leader must be number one for a good reason.
It's a powerful instinct. If everyone else chose them, they must be the safest, most reliable option. It's the bandwagon effect.
I think we need to get into the nuance here, though. Leadership is only powerful if it's, visible and specific. Being the biggest insurance company in the country is powerful.
But being the 10th biggest?
Not so much. You have to be number one in something.
Precisely, and it has to be objective. It relies on numbers. It is so much better to be the market leader in a very narrow niche than a small player in a huge market.
So, fastest growing accounting software for independent artists.
That's a verifiable, relevant leadership claim. It's specific.
So an online course platform wouldn't just say, we have great content.
No, they would claim, we are the largest library of courses specifically for freelance writers with over 50,000 enrolled students. That number, that 50,000, creates instant, measurable credibility.
Because the writer sees that number and thinks, okay, they're the authority for someone just like me.
It's market trust built on volume and evidence.
Which sets up a really interesting contrast. Leadership says, choose us because everyone does.
But sometimes a customer doesn't want what everyone else has.
Which takes us to principle 4, heritage.
Yes, this is differentiation through authenticity. You own the position of being the original, the time-tested, the traditional choice.
This one feels more emotional. In a world of fast fashion and, mass-produced everything, heritage implies something deeper.
It implies experience, refinement, trust. And that history becomes a currency that can justify a huge price premium.
Especially for products that have some kind of emotional or cultural weight.
And think about it, it is the ultimate competitive moat. Your competitors cannot copy your history. They can only start their own clock today.
The warning here has to be huge, though. It has to be authentic. You cannot fake heritage.
Oh, it's so cringeworthy when companies try.
It's the worst. You see a coffee shop that opened last week, but they have distressed wood signs and old-timey photos on the wall trying to claim some vague pioneer status.
And customers see right through that performance. It just kills your credibility.
So the history has to be relevant.
It has to be tied to the product itself. Let's go back to your pizza place example. The generic claim is, we make great pizza.
And the heritage claim.
Family recipe from Naples, 1958. We're the third generation making pizza the same way my grandfather did, in the same type of oven.
You're not just selling pizza at that point.
You're selling authenticity, a connection to a specific time and place. And the customers who want that experience will pay significantly more for it.
Okay, so that brings us to the last one, principle 5, preference. This one feels different. It's objective.
It is. It's about being the favorite, the most loved, the preferred choice, but for a specific type of customer.
So while leadership is about objective numbers for everyone,
preference is subjective perfection for a niche. It's not about being best for everyone. It's about being perfect for me. And that is a massive driver of loyalty.
Customers who prefer you will actively recommend you. They'll defend you.
And they rarely even think about switching, even if a competitor offers a lower price.
And what's so powerful here is that it lets a small player beat the market leader.
Absolutely. A customer might prefer the niche course platform because it feels tailored to them, even if the general platform is objectively bigger.
But you can't just claim preference, can you?
No, that's the key. You can't claim it. It has to be earned, and then it has to be proven. And the proof comes from your customers. Testimonials, ratings, reviews, that's the evidence.
So let's take a service business, like a business coach. The generic claim is, I help businesses grow.
Boring.
Right. But proving preference looks like this. Rated #1 by women entrepreneurs for 3 consecutive years on Trustpilot.
Now you're proving you are the preferred choice for a very defined group. And the more specific, the better.
A meal prep service doesn't just claim excellence.
They prove it with niche preference. 4.9 stars from over 2,000 parents of picky eaters.
Wow, that hyper-focus is the whole differentiation. A new parent sees that and immediately thinks, this company gets my specific problem, and people like me trust them.
It totally shifts the question from, is this product any good, to, is this product perfect for me?
And that subjective perfection is priceless.
It insulates you from price wars completely.
Okay, so we've covered the 5 pillars. Let's shift from strategy to immediate action. Trout gives a really simple 5-step exercise to diagnose your own differentiation. You could do this in 10 minutes.
And it forces you to be honest. I think that's the biggest challenge. Most businesses think they're different based on, internal feelings. The marketplace does not care about your feelings.
So, step 1, get a piece of paper. List your top 3 competitors. Then write one clear, differentiating sentence for each of them. What do they really own?
Is it speed? Is it heritage? Is it leadership? Be specific.
Step 2, now write your own differentiation sentence and be brutally honest. What do your marketing materials actually say today? Not what you wish they said.
Right.
Step 3 is the moment of truth. Look at all 4 sentences. They basically sound the same.
Do you see phrases like best quality products, superior customer service, reasonable price?
If you do, congratulations. You're a commodity. You are officially selling generic water.
Step 4 is the pivot. If you sound the same, you have to ask the critical question. What is the one thing we could own that nobody else is claiming right now?
And this is where you go back to the 5 principles we just talked about. Which one offers you the clearest, quickest path to ownership?
You have to pick one. Just one.
And that leads to step 5. Write your new ironclad differentiation statement. It should follow a specific formula for clarity.
We are the only your business type that your unique differentiation for your specific customer.
And that final statement becomes your anchor. When everyone on your team, from the CEO down to the newest intern, can say that one sentence, you stop being generic.
And you start building the proof you need to back up that unique claim. It's a diagnosis that can lead to real strategic change.
So if you remember nothing else from this deep dive, remember this one central lesson from Jack Trout.
Real differentiation means owning something specific, singular.
You have to get away from the empty, generic language that the market just tunes out. Quality is the price of entry now. Service is expected.
You must choose one of these 5 principles, just one, and build your entire organization around proving it, day in and day out.
Because the marketplace rewards that specificity with pricing power. If you try to be for everyone, you end up being for no one. You blend in.
And you're forced to compete on price, which, as we said, is not a sustainable path.
The challenge, of course, is different depending on your industry. In a, say, highly technical B2B space, which principle do you think is hardest to execute?
That's a big question. I'd say it's often leadership, because achieving true, undeniable scale can take a very long time and a lot of capital.
And in a consumer-facing business.
I think maintaining attribute ownership can be brutal. Consumer tastes and trends shift so quickly that the attribute you own today might be irrelevant tomorrow.
So the final provocative thought we want to leave you with is this. Look at your business and look at your competitors. Which one of the 5 principles lets you build a market position that they absolutely cannot copy? Not just today, but 5 years from now.
Find that permanent moat, own it completely, and start earning that $5 price tag for your bottle of water.